Welcome to the Internal Leadership Experience podcast. And we are so excited today to talk about internal leadership and the gospel. Oh, the gospel is where everything starts, Jen.
Yep.
It's good news.
So good.
It's good news.
Such good news.
You know, just right before this podcast started today, we needed the gospel to show up. Jen and I were trying to figure out who's going to start, how's this all work. And wow, we had a moment.
We've never done this before. We're learning. Thank you for learning with us. We need a helper.
Yeah, it got a little intense between us. It felt like there was, yeah, man. This is why we need the gospel, though. This is actually why we need a helper. We need Jesus. We need repentance. Yeah.
I think so much of my day-to-day internal leadership process is reminding myself I have God available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And why am I thinking about this scenario, about my life, as if I didn't have a God with me?
Wow.
You know, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week, accessible, longing to be exactly what we need in every single moment of every single day. It's very good news.
It's such good news.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I remember as a little boy, I was just always trying so hard to be good enough in every area. And the gospel simply allows us to come in the place, in the present moment where we're at, to see and meet the reality of grace, to meet the reality of Jesus, to meet the reality of his perfect love. And that really gives us a place of attachment. It gives us a place of safety. It gives us a place of courage to lead ourselves in the way of Jesus, to lead ourselves from that place. And without the gospel, we are just broken people that, truly don't feel like enough. Because we don't have the source of health, the source of connectedness. We don't have, like you just said, we don't have Emmanuel, God with us. And I love that about the book of Matthew, that it starts out with the trumpet sounding and the angels proclaiming Emmanuel. And then the book ends with Emmanuel, God with us. And from that place, we really get to live out the fruit of growing from glory to glory, being a place where we truly get to lead ourselves from a place of rest because of the final work of the cross, because of what Jesus has done.
Yeah, it's so good. I remember this, the main event of the gospel is not me.
It's helpful.
The main event of the gospel is not me finding out I am good enough.
Yeah.
And I remember this one scenario. It was just a situation as a leader where I had been leading in a group setting, and I remember just feeling like I just left people with so many deficits and just feeling like, oh man, I just was not enough in this scenario where I was serving and giving. And I just remember that night talking to the Lord about it and just saying, I just feel like I wasn't enough for her. I wasn't enough for her. I wasn't enough for him. And clear as day, I just felt like I heard Jesus say, you probably weren't. And, come again? And it was like, yeah, you probably weren't. And if we are measuring,
Yeah.
our value, our worth, our impact and significance on the earth based on what I'm contributing, sometimes we'll hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
And sometimes, we just won't. Sometimes we'll have what people need, and sometimes we won't. But the main event of the good news is Jesus,
Yeah.
100% of the time, has what we need. Jesus, 100% of the time, is not just enough, but abundantly, above and beyond all we could ever ask, think, or imagine, more than enough. Yeah. He didn't just come to bring life, but to bring life abundantly. So our process of internal leadership and what that means in the gospel is not us striving to become enough. That our process is our surrender to a God who is enough. And those who know their God will carry out great exploits.
Yeah, I love that, Jenny. The pressure of leadership without the gospel is just so immense. It's crushing. And I remember I've got the privilege over the last about 14 years to sit one-on-one with people in counseling and pastoral counseling, and it's just been a great honor to serve people. But it's the same kind of moments, walking out of sessions and realizing, I feel like I didn't have enough for what this person needed. I didn't have the right words, but just being able to return to that, the beauty of, what the Greek word sozo, saved, delivered, healed, is embedded in the gospel, is from the good news of that word salvation, is such good news because it's about what Jesus did. And of course, the greatest thing that I long to do is point people to him. But in that, just walking out at times and experiencing a similar thing where I'm not enough, and wait, if I start thinking I am enough, when I start having those victories or seeing people experience freedom or breakthrough, growing in beautiful ways, when I start thinking I am enough, it has the same double-edged sword that just causes me to climb up on that throne, the throne that only the Lord can be on. And that's why our starting place is original goodness. It's we're created in his image that creates a place that everything is good. And then we know what happened. Original sin came in and disrupted that. And this is why we truly needed a Savior, because it created this place of being able, attachment love that we have with God. It disconnected us from him ourselves. And this is why we have the place that the greatest need we will ever have is Jesus.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. And that, that need is something that's so anticipated with joy.
Yeah.
That Jesus, said, I am the bread that came out of heaven. That I am your nourishment. I am your sustenance. Yeah. And I'm giving you water that will make you never thirst again. That it's not like, we took one drink at our conversion and it's going to last us through eternity.
Yeah.
It's that this spring of living water found inside our source of love is always accessible. Whenever you're thirsty, you get to come. You get to come and come and come and keep on coming. And so many of us learned our needs are an annoyance.
Yes.
Our needs are a burden. That there's so much shame attached to our needs. And Jesus came with this happy, welcoming, hey, if you are heavy, if you are burdened, if you're weary, if you're weighed down, if you are needy, come to me. I want you in that state.
Wow.
Like so much as to go to say, you know, the poor in spirit,
Yes.
the needy are the ones who inherit the kingdom.
Yeah.
So that place of need is our beginning point in leading ourselves in the way of the gospel, is that I need him 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and he's happy about my needs. He's not annoyed. He's happy. And so much of that is a massive perspective shift in our stories.
Yeah, that's really good. It's really, really good. Yeah, I think, you know, about when I was younger, so much of, I got saved when I was 3, and I was sitting by a window sill with my dad was in the room and my brother was in the room, and my dad simply told me the gospel that, again, we're created in the image of God, we are loved, but in that we also we've all fallen short of the glory of God. We've all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. And I remember in that moment just my spirit coming alive as I just repented, even at 3.5. But I remember just when I would read passages like in Galatians 6, where it's the fruit of the Spirit, you know, the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, goodness, you know, and you get to self-control there at the end. And it was always about, why don't I have enough love? Why don't I have enough self-control? Why don't I have enough peace? There was this place of dissidence in my spirit because I was always working for that, rather than the place of, this is the fruit of the Spirit. It's not the fruit of Justin.
That's helpful.
And because I'm connected to him, he truly, like you were just saying, has what I need that will bear love, joy, peace, patience, goodness, kindness, gentleness, self-control. And just flipping the script there, flipping that place from trying my hardest to, oh wait, I have a God that has good news. He has everything that I need. And, you know, from that place, it just really makes us not work for love, but from love, from that place of attachment that can only come from a good God that allows us to then grow. And anytime those become backwards, it just becomes religion. It becomes works that doesn't have its place rooted in love. And it's a hard place to be. It's a depressing place to be. That place is full of anxiety, failure, and just giving up, which leads to so much shame, disconnectedness, and depression. And so we're so thankful that the gospel just is from that place of his great love towards us, that you know what it says in 1 John is God loved us first.
Yeah.
And that position gives us such great hope that, wait, I can walk in self-control. I can walk in patience. I can walk in peace. You know, I was thinking about the love chapter, Jenny, because, you know, it's the chapter that love, it starts with love is patient. You know, and it comes with the same framework, though. If we're thinking, oh, I have to be patient, I have to work up this patience. No, it's I'm connected to patience himself. And that's what allows me to be in a really hard situation, a disconnected experience, whether it's with you, the kids, And I
Yeah.
can actually receive patience because of not what I'm doing, but because of the good news, this gospel that, again, isn't just preached at that moment of conversion, but it's preached every day. Every moment of every day, we want to be championing the gospel within our spirit, because it allows us to truly lead and live in an abundant life there, where we do, like Romans 5:17 says, we actually get to reign in life out of that place of connected attachment love to the Father. And we get to truly lead ourselves.
It's so good. You know, sometimes I tell Jesus, you are the slowest person I know. I have genuinely never known anyone as slow as you. And I'm just waiting for somebody to write a worship song about how slow our God is, you know? And so much of our inner leadership process is just the slowest work because
Really helpful, Jen.
because of how loved we are. And love, it takes time.
Yeah, love is patient.
It takes so much time that we'll still, in 10,000 years, be walking really slow with Jesus, you know, and his response is just always, it's just, I'm meticulous about my love for you.
Yeah, it's really
I'm
beautiful.
meticulous, you know, and when we got married, you know, the goal wasn't, I'm going to love you as fast as I can. Ready, set, go as fast as I can, you know? And that's just speed. So much of the world around us, success is based on how fast can I accomplish this? How quickly can I get this done? How can I multitask or maximize? And it's correlated to success is how quickly can this be over, you know? And especially when we're going through hard seasons, you know, so often we just want to know, how long is this going to take? When is this going to be over? You know, and love just doesn't live at that pace, and rest in love does not live at that pace. And faith then does not live at that pace, because faith works through love. So faith is slow, you know, and I love that Mario Murillo quote. It takes God a long time to do something suddenly. And so many of our suddenlies are layers of walking with Jesus slow.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's been one of the number one questions asked of me in the counseling and coaching office is, how long is this going to take? Because, you know, it's really built somewhat in the fabric of our culture, of American culture, especially is when we think of leadership, we always think of maximizing how fast can we do this, and how much influence can we achieve, and all those kind of things. And, you know, the work that we're really describing of internal leadership experience, that experience is a slowed down process. It takes time, because, you know, there's different parts of who we are. And in those parts of having a body, a soul, a spirit, each of those take resource. Yeah. And so, you know, coming back to this concept of internal leadership in the gospel is, the gospel is slowly preached to ourselves by this place of joy of being connected to him. And from that place, it really gives us the courage to move slow. Because again, I keep on thinking about when I was a kid, you know, I so wanted to be just better, stronger. And I remember any time that I would make a poor choice, do something that was wrong or disconnected, from me hurting somebody else or watching something that was wrong. The voice that would really show up would be a place of condemnation, of, see, you're not good enough. You're not enough. You're which would really just cause me to feel stuck and feel like, oh, I need to go back to that place of salvation rather than being in that place of, wait, I am even loved in this moment right here. Yeah. Which, knowing that, would really lead towards self-control. It leads towards life rather than, oh, I'm so unhappy with my present reality that I disconnect from myself. I become disjointed in me, which really, again, just cause so much of performance culture. And that's why this internal leadership experience is so not related to our external performance, our external realities. It really starts in this place of being connected to a God, the good news of who is love, which allows us to really love ourselves so that we can love others, so that we can share patience and goodness and self-control and boundaries and love to others.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. And really, the heart of this good news of the gospel is not the message of where we're going.
Yeah.
It's the message of who has come.
Yes, it's a who.
Who is with us right here. Who gave 100% of himself to 100% of me, the broken me, needy me, sinner me, victorious me, overcoming me. And that, the gospel isn't good news about a place we'll arrive at.
Yes.
The gospel is the good news of who is with me. Love is present now. Yeah. And, I remember growing up, Granny, I just loved Granny. Yeah, she's so special. And she had a massive heart surgery when I was younger. And I remember the whole family just, everyone was anxious. No one was really talking. And I just, from my little kid perspective, and we were all just kind of in the waiting room. And I remember the doctor coming out and mid-surgery was kind of giving updates to the adults. And, nobody in that room wanted to hear the doctor say, I'm going as fast as I can. I'm cutting every corner. The goal of a successful surgery is speed. Who can do this the fastest? I'm going to set a new record. No, everyone was like, take meticulous care of Granny's heart. Go as slow as you need. Turn every rock over, investigate, leave nothing untouched. And, that is the heart of a love that is so intentional that it will leave no part of our heart untouched from his care, untouched from his intentional gaze, his loving kindness, his affectionate touch. Yeah. And, there will never be a finish line to living loved, to receiving love. And really at the heart of internal leadership and the gospel is constantly remaining, constantly returning to that place of, my mission is to live loved. My destiny is to live loved right here with the God who is love. And it's only when we don't have an agenda with ourselves.
Yeah, it's really good, Jen.
That we will not have an agenda with the world around us. That pure love loves for the sake of loving. And that can only come from the God who is love.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember, when I had just a pretty rough experience with depression. And, I had been reading and just studying Psalms 23 over and over for a long time. But I remember, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil because you are with me. And it allowed me to get in a place of curiosity and grace, that if he's willing to be in this place with me at the lowest of low places of feeling I'm so disconnected from myself, it really gave me an empowerment, an experience of being able to be, if you're going to be with me in my lowest place, can I be with myself?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Can I experience the grace that you have for me? Can I experience that for myself? And, that really preaching the gospel of who he is in the midst of my pain or suffering or sorrow allowed me to begin to integrate the gospel of, I can actually lead myself from this place with curiosity, with so much grace, because curiosity is another thing that just doesn't move fast. It's all about being in the present moment. It's not about some goal, destination mindset. It's literally about telling the truth about my reality right now, and that love is so present with me, which gives me the courage to keep on walking, to put one foot in front of the other, to truly never give up and experience grace from that place of the gospel, that he loved me when I am in this place. He is still with me when I'm in this place. So can I be with myself? Can I not abandon my own heart, my own feelings, my own thoughts? Can I just be right here and know that he's with me? And that's what's going to give me the courage and the experience of breaking through hard stuff, because we all go through hard stuff.
Yeah.
And how we get out of it, or how we move through it, is because he's with us.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And that's the gospel. We have Emmanuel because of the beautiful work of Jesus.
Yeah, it's so good. Well, I've loved this conversation today, babe. It's so rich, and really it has no end.
Yeah.
We can, and we'll keep talking about it. We'll be back for the next episode and we'll pick up the conversation, but we're so happy that you joined us today, and we just bless you. We bless you in your deep explorations of the good news of the gospel and what that means to you personally.